Congratulations if you've made some money off of Synopsys, ticker symbol SNPS. We ended the day at $584.71, up 4.3%. The day's low, 562. The day's high, 585.74. This is where we ended. We are at resistance. To the north side from where we are takes us to roughly 588.83. And another level of resistance and potential take profit area, 594.02 and 599.53. To the south side, back at the middle of the trend and the baseline, 576.89. Below that, at another level of support, 565.57. 560.13, a gap forms to the south side at 557.33. 553.86 and 551 closes out this gap at support. From here to get down to here, I don't think that's going to happen on Wednesday, but we are, we are at resistance. So I will anticipate a pullback as people take their profits and they run, they lock in and they leave. And the RSI is already turning down on the 5-minute time frame. So check out the different time frames because they give you different buy and sell signals. Looking left, you can see that this gap closed to the upside right here at 576.50. And this gap, we gapped down. So I anticipate a gap up, and that one closed out on the 12th at roughly 571.33. Taking a look at this on the daily time frame, last time I looked at it was on the 18th of January at 494.34. And you can see we are in an upward channel on the daily time frame. And right here, there's a nasty gap to the south side. So what goes up must come down. And we are not in that channel, not in the zone yet, but it can't keep going without consolidating, backing down, whipping you around. So here's another gap on the daily. So again, you have to look at the different time frames because it also gives you different gaps. So we gapped up, so I will anticipate a gap down whenever we finally get to that level. Again, not in the channel, not in the zone, but that could take us all the way back down to 292.45. That is something I would be considering. I am not a buyer up here. I don't play high to try to sell higher. That is not how I operate. But the 1-year price target is 635.85, an 8.75% return from where we are. So plenty of upside potential according to the analysts. So you could possibly get in at the dips if it's something that you really want. And here's another gap that takes us down to 396.53. On to the next stock. From the winner to the loser, I'm going to go to AMD. I am still in this trade. I am doing fantastic with this one because at some point a long time ago, I think I bought it in the 90s, something like that. I'll have to go back and look at my account. But we are right here at 182.42, down 4.84%. The day's low, 177.36. The day's high, 185.61. So this is where we are. Actually, let me mark out these gaps. And let's just take out, oh no, it gets wonky. I can't do it. All right, to the north side, resistance takes us to 183.01. A gap forms at 185.68 roughly. Closes out right here near 2 standard deviations along the 190.53.50, well, 194, 198-ish, 190.98-ish area. Close enough. 194.86, ignore that line, and 188.89. I think that's a 1-year price target. Yeah, that's an old price target that I looked at on the 16th of January. All right, and then we've got this gap, something to look forward to. 190 869. Now, but we are in a downward channel right now. To the south side, this gap forms at roughly 179.74, closes out at roughly 176.50, 174.85, 170.89, and 166.87. We've got another nasty little gap to the south side here, but we are not there just yet. If we continue to go down, we could hit this range somewhere. Let me move this out of the way to see. Maybe next week if we don't bounce. All right, and all right, now I've lost track of what I'm doing because my phone's ringing as well. So that takes us to 174.79. I'll just give this to you again, roughly 171.97, 170.84, 166.82, and this gap closes to the south side at 164.17. The 1-year price target is 198.95, a 9% return, 9.66% return from where we are. And one last one I want to go over is Unilever. It popped on some great news today that the company is spinning off Ben & Jerry's. And first, I'll give you some price targets. Ignore these horizontal lines, which in the past were support and resistance lines before we cracked, and now we're finally starting to go back up again. So 49.86 is where we ended, up 2.76%, 49.72 on the low end, 50.04 on the high end. Two standard deviations and resistance, 50.36, 50.87, and roughly 51.33. Now, to the south side, 49.40, 48.45, 47.97, and 47.48. Note this gap that closed out today and then ripped to the north side at 48.70. This gap also closed out last week on Friday at roughly 48.99. This gap, let me draw that out. So we gapped down, so I will anticipate a gap up, and we touched right here. Change out my colors. So that took us to 49.63, and that was resistance. We fell down, we hit resistance again, and there's a little gap that closed. And then this big bopper that I've been tracking will take us to roughly 50.47. And the 1-year price target is now 53. Oh, wait, I think I've marked that out before. Yeah, right here. 53.28 was the last time when I checked it on January 9th. So we are a long ways off, not in the channel, not in the zone to get here, but getting closer, inching slowly forward. And today's big gain, what is that? Oh, that's the gap. Okay. So today let me turn off the magnet. We got down to as low as 49.70. Oh, that's the post. Okay. So right about here, let's just draw it out to today's high right there, up 3.34% in one day, which is not too shabby. And I am in this trade for my mom, and I bought some down here at roughly 43.88. So we ended today at 49.86. So for her, I'm up 13.69%. All right, that does it for me. That's a look at Synopsys, AMD, and Unilever. Have a great trading day.